Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Beautiful day, a Friday. I don't care if it's raining. It's a beautiful day, right? That's how you got to look at it. You're heading into the weekend. Welcome in the 2 o'clock hour, almost here. It's XL Primetime. Hanging out in when you talk about going into the weekend with a short work week, and you hope you got enough of your whatever it is that you do on a daily basis done. Are you going to go twice as hard on this weekend of activities after having just the 4-day work week? Now, I know you had to go twice as hard with the extra day off last week, but you guys can let us know what the plans are for this week. It's going to be, I'm sure, Matt, back to the beach for a lot of folks.
I can't imagine you twice as hard, by the way.
Yeah, why not?
Because you go hard already.
Okay, so you're thinking the initial pace car.
Yes.
After we learned out with learned about the Indiana Pacers, that my pace car was set at a pretty high pace.
Your baseline is already going hard.
I do like having fun, that's for sure. But I can't go nearly as hard as I. Yeah, I'm the old Toby Keith
as I once did.
Yeah, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. That's for sure. I think coming out of the cruise, and I was talking to my buddy JD, who just happens to be going on a cruise this week to celebrate his daughter's graduation, and so he, Sunset Grill fan, JD,
right.
and so we're talking about it anyway. And so he's like, we can't go nearly as deep into the night on the third night as we once thought we could.
Right.
Right. Because you could go at 2, 3, 4 nights in a row or whatever, just having a big time party and all that kind of stuff. No, not as much. But it happens.
I got to tell you, there's like zero momentum in this corner right now.
Yeah.
As far as Cruz, after you and JJ talking about him.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Zero momentum.
You're among a sea of people, but there's also probably not too many sea of wants. Because you can get anything you want, basically.
Listen, man, I'm going on one this week, and it's going to be badass. So I don't know what you're talking about.
And you promised us a great story for that, so I cannot wait to hear
I forgot to tell you before the show.
Yeah.
Is it radio worthy or no?
Yeah, I don't care. I'll tell it.
All right, let's hear it.
Boy.
Hack yesterday, who's going on a cruise, he's getting the drink pass.
Sitting in with Ace Garline.
I mean, of course he's getting the drink pass.
Apparently, it's like $7-ish, like 7 drinks-ish worth,
right?
And they also, so if you're gonna drink 7 drinks a day, you should probably get it, okay?
Yeah.
But they cap you, so
right.
I guess if you're getting out of hand unruly, they're like at 15 is the max. Okay. And my boy yesterday says, I don't care if I'm gonna drink 15, but I sure as hell am gonna make him pour me 15.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, do you even drink?
Oh my God.
15 drinks is absurd.
Yeah.
Did he say that drink that drink deal comes with all the Diet Coke you can drink?
I don't know if it does, actually.
All right, so
does the drink thing include
he would not buy it
soda?
unless it did. There's no way.
Because there is a soda pass
that has
separately.
And that's totally separate. Because believe me, you want to talk about me trying to make sure that I'm going to get what I want? Because I don't need to go all night long and guzzle.
Right,
I just don't.
Right.
But they had
It's a young man's game.
Yeah, they had nice call brands. It wasn't just well brands.
Nice.
And so you could get whatever you wanted.
Yep.
Now TLD's got a governor on her. Okay, that's just the way it is.
She's
like
the
most women.
15 drink police.
Yeah, she's like that car when you get on the Grand Prix Raceway at Disney, and it's only going to go so dang fast. Okay?
You hit 4 drinks, and she looks at you like, Joey.
Yeah,
Time to slow down.
So she's got a governor on her, but she did point out that there were that 15 drink limit, which I didn't realize. I'm like, that's fine. I said, I'll just use your card.
So, 30 drink minimum for Joe.
It's better than Hacker's story.
Right. And you know that I never, ever really threatened the number at all. But
allegedly.
Yeah, but just to put her in the same pile with Hack, she did it differently, JJ. She just said, I'm going to enjoy the ones that I like, that I see on the menu. I'm just not going to drink them all. And so she would order her, I think, passion fruit martini. She loved that.
Take a drink and then go to the next one.
Yeah,
I
and
like that. That's a great idea.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, and so she'd probably take 2 or 3 sips, and then she'd go on.
I'm
to
sure
a
the
rum and
bartenders
coke.
loved that.
Oh,
It's not a bad idea.
I'm
Actually,
sure they loved her.
Actually, that's a solid idea.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's not getting me any closer to wanting to get on one of those ships, though.
But it is the same thing. Like whenever you go through the buffet, they go, and this was the classic line. I might have even had this way back when. For me, serving. Okay, take all you want, eat all you take. I mean, that's basically what the rule is.
Right,
Okay,
right.
if I'm buying the groceries, take all you want, but eat all you take. And so they have that sign up in some fashion.
They do
when you're
not.
going through. Yeah, they do. Oh my gosh, yeah, because they don't want you just coming in and just like
Grazing?
Yeah, have some decorum, man.
Yeah, like-
have some respect. That I'm assuming Joe didn't go
Decorum?
on a certain cruise line that nowadays it's fallen off. Let's just say that.
It's taking a dip.
Yeah, there is ones where you act like an adult on there,
Right,
man.
exactly.
Yeah, but Hack's
We all
going
have to
like
live
he's
on
going
here
on
together
Disney
for a
cruise,
week.
isn't he?
Disney Cruise is classy, bro.
Is it?
Disney Cruise
Really?
is like $1 million a person.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Yeah, because the TLD side of things, her family, they take the cruise with a couple of Uncle Bob's got the grandkids,
Right.
and so he said he really likes them. But he said it is, it's right and tight. The dollar price is up there just a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
I've never seen like anybody get cut off at a cruise though.
No,
I've never seen anybody get in a fight. I've never seen anything like that on a cruise though.
Yeah,
So I
no.
couldn't imagine walking up with trying to get your 16th drink
well, I could just
and
picture.
they
like-
turn you away.
Yeah, there have been
Security
times
is on you.
when I put the badge up on the electronic scanner, and you get the red circle with the crossbar on it. That ain't happening. I would hate to be the guy that goes to the bar and they go, we need a supervisor.
Yeah, we're gonna need
Wait a second. If
security.
this is a Disney cruise, he's bringing Little Hack with him.
Of course.
He's not getting 15 drinks.
No,
Is
he's
he going to sidle up to the bar with Little Hack and ask for his 14th
That's what he said,
drink?
man.
Yeah, you know what he said? I'm gonna get 15 umbrellas, man. Okay,
Bring him back
He'll
as
probably
proof.
collect them.
With every drink, you get a photo with a cast.
Yeah,
character.
but I don't think. Yeah, he could tell a story like that. That wouldn't be bad. But I don't think on the Disney cruises there's casinos.
No, I don't believe
No?
which.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
so.
out on that.
But on the other ones, there are
Oh,
casinos.
of course,
yeah.
yeah.
Now there's a little momentum.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
Okay.
one of my buddies,
Really?
he loses so much money at the Royal Caribbean casinos every year that they send him free tickets.
See,
Are we talking like?
that's an investment right there.
Are we talking craps, Texas Hold'em?
Yeah,
all
it's so
of it?
funny
Black
because like you have to have
Open waters.
Yeah, and they'll raise the dollar amount on certain tables the further along you go in the night, and a $5 table will turn into a $25 table.
okay.
That kind of stuff. And I
Starting
think
to be intriguing.
there may have only been a $5 table for like 5 minutes, and then it becomes something else. But at least they advertise that. But the roulette and craps are fun because you got little small $2 bets up to $50
You can stand at a
bets.
craps table for 3 hours.
Yeah, that
man.
you can make. And so
Yeah.
I did hear this one cat who came back down from upstairs a little wounded, and his buddies were still there.
Right.
And he's like, "Why aren't you?" He goes, 12 on, man.
And imagine I'm assuming you have like the ATM fees in there are probably outrageous.
Yeah,
because I don't think they let you be like, hey, put another $1,000 on room 205.
But you can put it on your room.
Can you?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That is dangerous.
Yeah. And so you're not just
You can
wheeling
put it on
with-
your room?
It's on your room. You have to toss your card down. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
That's
so,
dangerous.
That's scary.
man.
That's much worse than 16 drinks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's pricey. Okay, that's pricey. All right, so if you have any of those types of stories, we'd love to hear them. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures on a Friday afternoon because I think I told you guys this, that it's become more popular. Younger age range are doing it more and more now.
It's cheaper in some places.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, where it used to be kind of an older crowd.
Plus,
Anyway,
if you
much
get that
younger.
15 drink thing, you're much more likely to throw more money in your card.
Yes,
at the
of course
casino.
you are.
Better believe it. Yeah. You
Why
better
do you
believe
think they give you free drinks at every casino while you're gambling? That's just how it
Reminds
works.
me
They
of-
want you drinking. They have no problem giving you a $3 beer.
Right.
It reminds me of
Over and
Michael
over
Keaton
again.
in Night Shift. So I shoved his free drink in his fat face.
Well, I tried to I did everything with I even had a little bit of a governor on it because I had the meat sweats. Remember the last time it went on that bad boy? Yeah, because I had just crushed it so much, and I felt like between the walk from the buffet back to my room, they were going to have to call paramedics. Okay, that's how much I had consumed. So anyway, we had a good time though, that's for sure. All right, so. And you know what? I got to just at least segue into this because we got to get into what we were going to talk about with the SEC and so on, and then the NBA last night. But this time next week, I am going to Nashville to see the daughter-in-law. That's kind of the under the heading of to see my not daughter-in-law, my beautiful daughter and son-in-law.
But it's much more than that.
It's much more. And so the son-in-law moves way up in the power rankings this time. Because I am going to Nashville to work. I'm going to punch in and be a grip. They're young Joey, little Joey McCurt is putting me to work because it's the CMA Fest. And so they're bringing bands in. They got the big concert and all that kind of stuff.
What is a grip, Joe?
You're basically asked to do whatever. You're a roadie.
What's a key grip? Because I see that all the time.
Usually is the light.
Right.
I think they're handling the lights.
Okay.
Key grip, I think, is making sure that all the lighting is perfect. And then, of course, you got guys that are in charge of mics and whatnot.
It's impressive that you know this, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Because you figure I came up through production. Okay. And so you had to know all that stuff. But and at PGA Tour Studios, you got all the different ones that are working on it. And we would have a whole team with audio and playback and EVS and all that stuff going on. So anyway, I'm going to get to go and work when all these bands come through Old Red. And it's
nice.
a Grand Ole Opry, Ryman, whole setup.
It's a nice
where they'll
bar,
be coming
too.
through. Oh, my gosh, yeah. And so I'll be honky-tonking. Maybe not.
It's not really old school honky tonk, and you'll be new school honky tonk.
Well, the lineup of artists that are going to come through there, Blake Shelton, Kelsey
school.
Ballerini,
New
the Zach
school.
Brown
New
Band.
school.
Yeah, it just on and on and on. Jordan Davis, who was here at TPC Sawgrass.
That was a lot of fun.
What if you like fall? What if you never come back?
I don't know.
You're just like, I'm
What
gonna
if you
be
fall in
just
love
like
with
a
being a grip?
roadie for some rant for Blake Shelton.
Yeah, I'm going to write my own.
He's run away with Big Red.
Yeah, Old Red.
Yeah, old Red's
Big
itching.
Red.
Old Red's itching to have a little fun. But I'm going to write my own version of the Loadout song, and so it'll be fun. But I'm just going to be moving a lot of big crates of equipment around and stuff like that, and just having it. But I'll be stage side.
It smells like midlife crisis.
You know,
stuff.
I love it,
when
man. Yeah, TLD's worried about that. Don't think you're not wrong, JJ.
You know, when Bianchi was the sports columnist at the Times Union, he used to write columns talking to Old Red, and Old Red was Georgia.
Yeah.
Because Florida was just kicking their ass every single year.
Yeah.
And he'd go sit down in a bar and talk to, quote, Old Red. And Old Red was beaten down, drinking,
beautiful.
because he couldn't beat Spur, didn't know how to beat Spur.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yes, how they've turned incredibly, actually.
And Bianchi's old school. I don't remember who I was telling this the other day. Might have been the witch doctor or somebody that when we were out playing, and I was telling him, I was like, Bianchi would come up to you and he goes, "You know what I need? I need a highball." And like that's something from
So
the
interlocking.
50s or what. I need a highball. I'm like, it
Yeah, like my grandfather would say that.
just cracked me up, man.
Of what?
Yeah, something.
He doesn't
something
drink
good.
liquor anyway.
Yeah.
He drinks beer.
He would
with
drink
like
beer.
peanuts in it. He doesn't drink
He
liquor.
just made it up, you know. Highball. My
Yes, that's a glass.
my grandfather would always say they want to put me on 2 fingers, but I'm 3 fingers. So whenever he'd tell you to go make him in early times or whatever, he would insist on that. That was his version of a double as opposed to a single. All right, let's just talk a little bit about the SEC coaches rankings. Now, also newsy today is at least what the Big 12 said. They had their meetings, their spring meetings, just like you were at the SEC spring meetings in Destin, Florida. They had them in Orlando, I guess part of the welcome package to bring UCF into the Big 12 the last couple of years. And so anyway, they got together and your Mark?
Your Mark.
Yeah. Their
Commissioner of the Big 12.
yeah, their commish is still talking about how everyone's got to work with the same thing in mind, and that's making sure the caliber of competition that the college football playoff delivers for the fans across the nation is as good as it possibly can be, and it's all inclusive. Okay, I think that's what they're trying to preach more than anything else. So, all inclusive.
So there's another formula that's out there, the possibility for a 16-team playoff. It's 5 automatics and 11 at large. The 5 automatics being the 4 Power 4 conferences, champions of the Power 4 conferences, and the highest-ranked champion of the group of 6 conferences. So, Yormark said today in Orlando, quote, "I think there's real momentum for 5-11. Certainly, the public is voting yes for it." Who the hell's the public?
Yeah.
Like, what is he talking about there? The public is voting. Does the public have any say in it?
Yeah, the public.
Because if they did, you'd never be in this spot in the first place.
Right. Yeah, he's floating the same old thing out there, trying to say everyone outside of the SEC and Big Ten makes some noise.
Wait, it gets better than that. Okay?
Yeah.
It gets much better. Certainly the public is voting yes for it, which I think is critically important. Yes, the Big Ten and the SEC are leading the discussion. But with leading those discussions, they have a great responsibility that goes with it to do what's right for college football and not to do anything that just benefits 2 conferences.
Yeah.
Did the Big 12 do what's right for college football when it raided the American?
Yeah.
And it raided the Mountain West?
Right. If it had a chance to do what the SEC and the Big Ten are doing, they do it.
How about the ACC? Did they do what was right when they had joined the alliance with the Big Ten and the Pac-12 to stop the initial 12-team playoff?
Right. Yeah, we totally get it. Yeah, it's wherever you are, you say what you have to say at that point. That's for sure. All right, so let's get into it a little bit today. But the SEC coaches rankings, where are you putting? Is Kirby at the top of the list, bar none? Who's after Kirby Smart? Give us maybe a 1, 2, 3. You can go as deep as you want as far as the rankings. And then where you might have, if you're a Gator fan, you can go high-low on Billy Napier as far as where you'd like to place him. Anyway, we'll have the conversation coming up here in just a second. We'll do it with Connor O'Gara from Saturday to Down South as well. A Florida Home AC Friday. They want to keep you cool every single moment of every day. That's what they're all about as the official AC provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But you can give us some cool rock and roll by hitting the text line at 641-1010. Put JJ, the DJ, to work.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Pretend to entertain.
They are the morning team known as The Drill.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry, is that funny? Are you stand-up comic?
Right here on 1010XL.
Just when you thought we couldn't bring you more, Keon Atlantic is here with a brand new store. We have the same great team to treat you well, with new savings during our grand opening sale. Keon Atlantic is here with the new store. Shop our best offers and largest selection yet. Save big during our grand opening sale. Is there something for everyone on our lot? You bet. If you're ready to experience something new, the all-new Keon Atlantic is ready for you. Your perfect ride is a visit away. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Got a leaky faucet? AC blowing hot air? No worries, DuckDuckRooter has your back. Call 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com. DuckDuckRooter, plumbing, septic, AC, and a whole lot of quacking good service.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
I'm Hacker, and I'll get you more Gator Chomps during the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. New episodes drop every Friday. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
It's the NBA playoffs, and Hurricane Grill & Wings has slam dunk specials like $3.75 Miller Lite drafts with 30 bold wing flavors, ice cold drinks, handcrafted cocktails, and big screens everywhere. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Pacifico, discovered by accident.
Yeah, the story goes, a group of friends went down to Mexico looking for some legendary wings. They never found them. But what they did find was something even better. An unforgettable Mexican lager.
Where'd you hear that?
Tell your next great story with a friend and a delicious Pacifico Mexican lager.
Pacifico, find your own way.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Looking for that designer engagement ring like Tacori or Verragio? Then hear this. The only locally owned authorized dealer here for these exquisite rings is Beard's Diamonds. Beard's is your destination for the top names in bridal design. Tacori, Verragio, Sylvie, Gabriel & Company, Gnome Carver, and more. If she's seen it on Pinterest or in a bridal magazine, Beard's has it. Exquisite, handcrafted, and made in America. So you can get her the ring of her dreams without having to go to one of those national mega chain jewelers. At Beard's, there's no big company rules, no Wall Street sales goals, no impersonal service. The non-commissioned experts at Beard's Diamonds will take their time and let you see dozens of ring styles from all the most sought-after designers. Beard's is proud to be Jacksonville's premier jeweler for nearly 45 years. We're committed to this area and promise an authentic, refined, and risk-free experience without markups, without pricing games, without corporate red tape getting in the way of making you happy. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's diamond store, at the shops at St. John's Town Center.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, the misery, has it gotten any better for the Florida Gators? Just charging late in the season during the conference schedule to find a spot in the regional and just getting hammered earlier by East Carolina. JJ, give us a that whenever you can with an update on that bad boy because right now they were at least coming back slinging a couple of single-shot home runs to get at least on the board. So give us one whenever you got that. As a matter of fact, I have one other that I'll start you off with while you look for it.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So this has got a little Gator flavor to it, but it's not the best. Kyle Pitts, we brought him up yesterday when we were talking about what Brenton Strange might be able to do in a Jags uniform. The Kyle Pitts story in Atlanta is what? It's a bust. Well, at least right now, the Atlanta Falcons, the reports are out that they are looking at making him available via trade. And so Kyle Pitts, who was drafted 4th overall, We threw out his numbers last year, but here they are up in Atlanta after they made the change with Raheem Morris, 1 year under his belt up there, but looking around and saying, hey, does anyone want to make a play and come get Kyle Pitts? He's at least being shopped a little bit.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, from Conway.
Yeah.
Yes, the Conway Regional. ECU has taken a 10-2 lead.
Ouch, man.
In game one against the Gators. It's only the top of the sixth. Well, I guess not only. It's the top of the sixth, so it looks pretty much over from here.
That
sucks.
You cannot say it.
But you got to lose 2 games.
Number one, you can't say it's over because it's ping baseball, which means there's 3 innings left, and who knows what happens in ping base. 4 innings left.
Yeah, anything.
8-run lead?
Bro,
that's
it's
a big
ping
one.
baseball.
It's a pretty big one.
It's a pretty sizable lead.
By the way, for the Florida State fans out there, they have a strong team this year. They're ranked 9th in the nation. They play at 3 p.m. on the ACC Network or ESPN Plus. They play Bethune at home, and Miami plays in the Hattiesburg Regional against Bama at 3 on ESPN2.
Yeah, so all right, I'm looking at a couple of other ones. You've got Little Rock at LSU, which is a 3 o'clocker, and you got the Canes and Tide at the same time. You got Tennessee at home to the other Miami at 6 o'clock tonight. Mississippi State versus Northeastern, 7:30 tonight, and then Ole Miss later against Murray State. So there's decent ball. There's a bunch of them. I don't know what the score is of Kentucky and West Virginia, so I'll have to check that one out.
And today's the day when the 1 seed always plays you're going to get Florida State Bethune. Tomorrow is when you start getting the better matchups between the 1s and the 2s.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's just get into the SEC conversation as far as the coaching is concerned, and then also we'll stay on what was being talked about as far as the SEC meetings and then what happened with the Big 12 as far as what they're trying to do. Look, it's a lot of minutia, okay? There's no getting away from the idea that, hey, I just want to see my college football. You guys took forever to get to 12. Now you're trying to fast pass it to 16. Now you're trying to change the seedings. You're going to keep it one way one more year, then you're going to change it again. Anyway, it's just all over the place as far as the actual chatter around the college football playoff is concerned. And then the basketball folks said, you know what, we can't stand this. Everyone's talking about football. Let's go ahead and expand the and it's all about money. That's what it's all about. Instead of the first 4, they're going to call it the first 12 or some crap like that and let 8 more teams get into the NCAA tournament. I don't
So
care.
are they in the 70s now, or have they been in the 70s?
You guys will both love it because you guys are both
68.
degenerates, so you'll love it. Why do you care?
Well, I like looking at those games action-wise, but I guess my point is we all know what it's for. It's not for the love of the game. Okay?
I mean, it's
for
hard.
the dollars
It's
of
hard
the
to
game.
argue when one of those teams got to the Final Four. It's hard to argue that the play-in, first 4, whatever you want to call it, VCU got to the Final Four from the first 4.
Well, yeah, there are good stories, but there aren't enough of them. And I think the reason why they're doing this now is because the NIL killed the mid-major. The NIL killed the one-bid league. And so now they're trying to fish for more dollars or more gold to at least hand off to them to kind of help fill their coffers, because it's going to be, I believe, like we witnessed this past time, once we get out of the first weekend, it's nothing but chalk, nothing but big boy basketball, which I'm all for. I love it. I think you got good stories with mid-majors at least starting the tournament, but we saw it when Arkansas was, quote, the Cinderella. We knew that this is a new era of the tournament.
So we're talking about, what's the format going to be for 2-2-1 or 5-11. The bigger issue is going to be, are there buys?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go to 16, they're also talking about double buys for the 4 champions.
Mm-hmm.
Double.
Are you saying
not first
double?
round?
Are you saying
double?
double? You're saying double goodbye?
Double buys.
All right, let's make it
which
sure.
means first round you get a bye, then the 12 play. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't even think that was.
So you're in the semis.
So you're going
automatically?
You're going automatically into it,
or you're in the quarters, I guess.
Yeah. No,
it would be the semis.
It would be the semis,
how can you have 2
Yeah.
buys? 16.
Who's even bringing that up?
That's what they were talking about. Double buys.
When does this end?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I gotta say. Like, I get the money and all that, but like, what's the end game with this?
More money.
The basketball tournament, 64 teams.
It's still the
like. What's to stop that from happening? Eventually,
I think you can see a reasonable path that they're taking, especially the SEC and the Big Ten, is that they're trying to kill off the hangers-on or the sponges that are absorbing their money. That's how they look at it, and so they're trying to fracture it so much. And they said it the other day. Why do we even have to belong to the NCAA? And so they're trying.
That's not. I mean, that's obviously. They're already autonomous. That's why they're called the Autonomous Four.
Yeah,
they're just going complete. Everything through structure and through the way they manage each other, the way they rule against each other, enforcement. By the way, I should also say it's only double bye for the first two. The first four get a single bye. Then in the next round, only the first two get a double bye.
Yeah, that's just nothing but confusion. It really is. Well, and then the other half of it is
you're playing for one of the first two spots where you get double byes. One of the first four get single byes. That's how it is.
Yeah, but then as soon as the other model, which makes the most sense at all, as soon as you get through championship Saturday, you start playing.
Right. It should just be 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, just like that.
Yeah, it's
right.
so
I kind of liked when it was 4 teams, and then 1 played 4 and 2 played 3, and then we had a national champ.
I kind of liked
or even before
like
that,
BCS.
when it was the BCS, and we just had 2, and they played, and
then we could argue like hell
really
against it. Yeah.
was that.
You're a big old
about
fart
it.
on the porch now.
Yeah, but it was much better to argue about 1 versus 2.
Well, yeah,
but the BCS those were some legendary knockdown drag.
We wouldn't have a team like Ole Miss with 3 losses crying on social media for a year now.
Yeah, but you had somebody
or 6 months, whatever.
Well, heck, FSU's been crying for 2 years because they weren't let in, and they still have an argument, but they also still didn't get in.
They also lost by 60. Like
they don't have an argument. They lost their quarterback.
That was their argument. That was their. They just wanted in. But anyway, whenever you say it was the sport of arguing, like I'd rather have games than arguments. Honestly,
it still is a sport of arguing.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing right now about Florida State.
Yeah,
but what we will do about Florida State for decades.
And we went from a 4-team playoff to a 12. Yeah, and I was told that was going to solve so many problems. No. And then we had Ole Miss and everybody else.
I got news for you. 16's not going to solve problems.
Exactly. Either. That's what I'm saying. So what really? When is this going to end?
It's the old Jim Delaney line. It's bracket creep,
dude.
Once you open it up, you get bracket creep. Everybody starts to think more is better.
We have 70 teams in the NCAA basketball tournament. You know that there's always teams that complain about not getting in every single year.
I will say that Mike Leach initially said, just make it 64.
68.
Be done with it.
Yeah, 68, yeah.
Football, not basketball, football. Make it 64.
It's nuts. Yeah, that is nuts.
He's like, the way he said it too was like, he said, if you can't figure it out, go down to any softball complex in any city anywhere in the United States. And the guy that runs a softball complex, he runs a tournament. And I can guarantee you he can figure out that formula for you.
Yeah. Well, 64 is still a little tall for me. But we are heading in that direction, unfortunately. We definitely are heading in that direction. All right, XL Primetime. Let's say hello to Connor O'Gara because we're at least going to talk with him about these rankings, which we keep trying to tease. Where is Billy Napier versus, say, a Hugh Freeze? As it was mentioned earlier, where is he ranking when you talk about Mark Stoops and some of the other guys? Would you put him ahead or below a Sammy Pittman? So we'll get into all that coming up with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South, one of Matt's old workmates when he was with the Saturday group. We'll be treated to a visit with Connor O'Gara coming up here in just a second.
1. Frangie and Hicken on Mondays. 2. Denny Thompson and Hacker on Wednesdays.
Who's counting?
1010XL now has 2 original Gator podcasts each week.
1 for you, 1 for me.
Search 1010XL Florida Gators wherever you find podcasts or visit 1010XL.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hey, it's Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter. And you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 30th, 1927, Walter Johnson records his 110th and final shutout of his Baseball Hall of Fame career, the most in MLB history.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like EVO implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
All right, let's say hello to one of our dudes that knows a ton about college football. He drills down on the SEC, naturally speaking, since he is part of SaturdayDownSouth.com. Connor O'Gara joining us now. Connor, how you doing, man?
Doing really well, gentlemen. It's just nice to be talking about college football at a time when everybody is in agreement with one another. We're all having nice civil conversations. They'll be handing out information packets. Everything's just good and peachy.
It was so funny. We were just talking, Connor, and Matt's like, remember we used to always argue about when it was just two teams that got in? It was a sport of argument. I'd rather have games than arguments, but you're right. Right now, I actually think people are arguing right now because of what's been happening with all the commissioners trying to flex.
You know, and I'm old enough to remember when the biggest problem in college football was satellite camps. And here we are a decade later in a much different place. But, yeah, look, it is kind of bizarre to see the way that this is all played out at a time in which there's so much uncertainty in college football. And if you're trying to figure out why is there this angst, why are these parties at such odds over the future of the college football playoff, it's because they want certainty. They want the guarantees. They want the automatic buys to know that they're going to get a certain piece of that $1.3 billion playoff pie to be able to say to administrators, hey, we know that you have different things that you have to fund now in this era of college athletics, but here's a piece of this pie that you know you're going to get every single year, and you're not going to have to worry about the subjectiveness of this sport. We'll see how that plays out, but that's how we've gotten to this point, and it's why so many people are just scratching their heads, wondering why everybody is seemingly in different places.
All right, so we've been talking about your coach rankings from the spring, Connor, and one guy that stands out at me, and I know he's your buddy, and I know he appears on your wildly successful and award-winning podcast, Saturday Down South podcast. Shane Beamer at 8 is a little high for me, I think. In fact, a lot high for me, especially after what happened in that bowl game against Illinois. That to me kind of jumps out at me. I think Stoops, and I've been a Stoops fan all along, and these guys give me grief here about it. I even think he's too high now at 9. I think after the back-to-back, what's happened in back-to-back seasons, this thing, I guess the question I have for you, and it's kind of the same thing that everyone asks me whenever I do these, is this a career type thing, or is it fluid, and is it impacted by recency bias?
Well, if we're going to throw out the Friends discussion, the friend of yours that he took over, a certain Will Muschamp, let's not forget.
Let's not go there, man.
Yeah, touche.
Will's a good dude now. Come on.
Will is a good dude. I won't push back on that. But let's remember what he inherited, because that program was in a really, really tough spot post Spurrier. And while Muschamp certainly could recruit, I think there were still so many games in which you would look up and go, goodness gracious, how did they lose this one? Or, wait a minute, you mean to tell me this team's not even going to sniff the top 25? Beamer has changed that, and I give him immense credit. Because, yes, the bowl game was bad. You can argue that what happened with Bielema ultimately gets the last laugh in that. You had Nick Eamon-Worry with seemingly this weird halftime opt-out. It just left a bizarre taste in your mouth for what was easily the best season of the post-Spurrier era. But I think Beamer has totally rebuilt that program into a different place, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. Being 8th among SEC coaches, I guess, is a bit too high. Mark Stoops is the best coach in the history of Kentucky football by his total of wins there. Bear Bryant might have a word about that as well. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's difficult once you start getting in those spots, because, what am I supposed to, rank Billy Napier ahead of those guys because of the great month that he had? That's where the conversations get tough.
So hey, real quick, back to Beamer. Here's the problem I have with him at South Carolina. Every time you think they're going to be better than everyone thinks they are going to be, they fall flat on their face. They do not deal with expectations well, and that's a direct reflection on the coach. He's got to fix that, Connor. That's been his MO since he's been there. They lose games they shouldn't lose.
Yeah, they lose games they shouldn't lose, and then they win games they shouldn't win. They do. I mean, that's been their MO. You're exactly right. I mean, when you kind of step back and go, oh, well, South Carolina's going to finish 13th in the SEC, that's when they're most dangerous. That's been the case. Right. I know South Carolina fans would like to get over that. And if there is a knock on Beamer's success, it's something that you're hinting at here. The post-game vibe of what South Carolina looks like after one of those games South Carolina fans don't want to feel like, oh my gosh, they just pulled off this upset and what an unbelievable moment for the program. They want to feel like the team that's been there. And South Carolina fans, I know, have some angst about how it looks when they get that big-time win and they beat a team like Tennessee to end their playoff run in 22, or they beat that Dan Mullen team in 21, like they beat Auburn, or like whatever it is. They want to feel like, hey, we do this. This is just a thing that's part of our DNA now, and it doesn't have to feel like, oh, my gosh, look at what this means for South Carolina. They need to get past that place, and that's what I think Beamer is tasked with doing, and you're right. That would be winning the games that you're supposed to win and not necessarily just the ones that nobody expects you to win.
Just the fact they were in the conversation for a CFP spot.
Yeah, it was important.
It really, and the brand that Lenore Sellers put out there and that pass rush, I changed my opinion, Connor, a little bit of Beamer this year. All right, so let's just hit these real quick. You can find Connor O'Gara and his rankings at Saturday Down South. As Matt said, check out his SEC podcast and at CJ O'Gara on X. But just to rattle them off real quick, top to bottom, you go Jeff Lebby because he just got going, 16th in the SEC. After that, it's Hugh Freeze, who's struggling a bit at Auburn. Brent Venables, plenty of questions. Sammy Pittman, we love him, but yeah, it ain't easy. He's 13th. Then Connor goes Clark Lee, and just by a nose, he puts Billy Napier ahead of the Vanderbilt Commodore head coach. Come on, Connor.
I'll say this, and I realize the audience in which I'm speaking to. I realize the person I'm speaking to when I say that I'm still a little bit skeptical about Billy Napier. Clark Lee just got Vanderbilt to its earliest bowl berth in program history. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that is no small feat, and he did it in a very unorthodox way by taking the best parts of the New Mexico State program and deciding that his time on the hot seat will be defined by taking those best parts and implementing it into his program. Who does that? I mean, like, we've been begging Vandy for years and years to just be creative, come up with a solution that could at least have us going, oh, you know what, that's going to be a little bit different to prepare for. And they finally did that. So I give him credit for that. I think it was a great coaching move. We'll see. You talk about not being able to sustain success in South Carolina. I mean, they haven't had, consecutive seasons in which they have won an SEC game under Clark Lee, which is a weird stat. And obviously he still needs to overcome that. But I think last year he deserves so much credit. If he had ended up being SEC Coach of the Year, I would have had no problem with it.
As long as Diego keeps suing the NCAA and getting an extra year of eligibility.
Right?
I mean, they're good. The thing is, too, real quick, I want to get to further into your things, but the funny part about the whole Vandy thing is, like Connor said, he goes to New Mexico State of all places to build his roster. That's not the crazy part. The crazy part is the Vandy administration let those kids in.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the craziest part of all because
bend the rules every once in a while.
Within 5-7 years ago, those kids couldn't sniff Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. So that's the crazy thing.
You're right, and you know what? We should have known that was going to happen the second we saw all of those renovations at the stadium.
Right.
A place that has not had before this, and they're going to be under construction for the next 20 years as far as I'm concerned, because that's just the entire city of Nashville. It's a great place, but it's all under construction. They have said we're going to have our first major stadium renovation since the early 1980s, since the Jimmy Carter administration. Yeah. When they signed up to do that, and I give Candace Story-Lee a lot of credit for being willing to actually act like a football program in the SEC. When they signed up for that, that's when we should have known they were going to let New Mexico State kids in, and the Vandy academic standard was going to be lowered.
Right. All right. So let's get into this because this is important, man. It is. I know they owe him $80 million, but look, I think you got Kalen DeBoer way too high, and I will say this, okay? I think Kalen DeBoer, if you're going pure track record, he's done a phenomenal job in college football.
Taking a team to
everywhere
he's
gone. Everywhere he's been, he's done a phenomenal job, okay? But I also believe that these rankings have to have some kind of recency bias in them. And you look at that team, first off, if you're Alabama, you should never lose to Vanderbilt. That's number one, all right? I'll give them the Tennessee loss. They were the better team. They still lost that game. I don't know how they lost that game. But you don't lose to Oklahoma when Oklahoma has its worst team in, 30, 40 years. You don't lose to that team when you're playing for a playoff spot. And then you don't go to a bowl game against a one-dimensional Michigan team that can't throw the football and get blown out. So to me, I look at that and I think, all right, Kalen DeBoer's got some work to do, man. And I mean some heavy lifting to do, too.
But he's not getting fired.
No, of course he's not. No, and I said that last week we were talking about this. You're not paying a guy $80 million to walk away. No chance.
Yeah, Greg Byrne, in the most important hire, when he signed up for that job, knowing that Nick Saban was entering his late 60s, do you think there was any part of Greg Byrne, knowing that he was going to eventually hire Nick Saban's successor, do you think he was sitting there going, you know what, I might have to pay like a $60 to $80 million buyout one day to just pivot on my biggest choice? Not going to happen. But here's what's forgotten with Kalen DeBoer, who had a bad year one. A bad year one, in my opinion. Very disappointing. His worst coaching job in the 5 years that he's been an FBS head coach, no doubt about it. But what gets lost in the shuffle is that he is still the guy that is 15-3 against AP top 25 teams, the best record among active coaches who have had at least 15 such games. He's 6-1 against AP top 10 teams. He's undefeated against the likes of Dan Lanning, Steve Sarkisian, Brian Kelly, Kirby Smart. You can be 10-2 and get to the playoff and just face those guys. And that's what's going to define so many of these coaches, DeBoer being one of them. It's not about, are you going to go 11-1, or hey, you're going to go 10-2 and lose a game you're not supposed to lose. It's going to be, can you beat those elite teams? And so much of this will come down to that. And I do think that the Ryan Grubb, the reunion, is going to be a big part of how we're going to define this 2025 season. But I would have had him at 2 on the list the previous year, and I dropped him to 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely punished him for year one. I think things have to be determined.
Let me say something real quick, Joe, and then you can ask your question. I'm telling you right now, Connor, you mark my words right now, Florida State's going to give them everything they want in that game, that first game. You wait and see. Alabama doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, well, does FSU? I know that Tommy
Castellano is much better than what Alabama has. Okay?
I know that, but yeah, that's all right.
Florida State's going to give them everything they want in that game.
I love it, and it's crazy, real quick, Connor, because we know we got to wrap up with you. But the fact that Kalen DeBoer had what Bama fan would view, as you described, not an acceptable season, and they still beat Kirby. That's just still crazy to think that that's the way it went. All right, just give them a little bit on Billy Napier and what you view has to happen for him to begin the climb in the coaching rankings.
He's got to do some voodoo magic and make sure that DJ Lagway's shoulder is healthy. I know, Matt, you've talked about that a lot this offseason. 100% agree. Their season is drastically different if we find out that shoulder is not 100% at the start of the year. But to me, it's what's he going to look like as a play caller, because he is still putting that onus on himself. And what's it going to look like in the passing game with talent at the receiver positions? Don't sleep on the return of Trey Wilson, how important that's going to be for that team. Yeah. But you've finally got a team with that sort of DNA that Billy has been trying to build up. You should be really good on that offensive line. That ground game should be awesome with Jaden Baugh. Like this is an offense that shouldn't have excuses, unless DJ Lagway, of course, doesn't have a fully healthy shoulder, in which case that's the ultimate excuse. But to me, he can rise on this list if he puts together an 8-4 season with that schedule. To me, if you have got late season playoff buzz, that changes how we talk about you. And I think Billy Napier has a team that has a lot of those attributes working in his favor, especially if they really did figure out the defense down the stretch like it looks like they were doing. So to me, he's in a really interesting spot. But, it's a team that the margin for error is definitely there. The odds makers certainly feel that way as well. And I can't wait to see how 2025 plays out for him.
It's still nuts to say what Connor pointed out, and Gator fan might still shake their head when they hear that the way they finished last year, beating Ole Miss and LSU, led to an 8-win season, first 8-win season for Florida since 2020. That should be against the law right off the jump.
That should never happen.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's just nuts. All right, bro, great catching up as always, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again as we start looking forward to some of these mammoth matchups that we're seeing the scheduling come together. It's going to be great. So hopefully we'll be able to visit again soon.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
All right, Connor O'Gara at CJ O'Gara on X, and then, of course, Saturday Down South with all these guys going on. Those games, we start looking at the kickoff schedule that you guys were talking about yesterday.
Games, man.
Ooh, all right, we'll do a little bit of that coming up. But what do you think? He has Billy 11th. He has Napier behind Mike Elko 10th, and Elko did get out of the box pretty good down there with the Aggies. Okay, and then Mark Stoops 9th, Shane Beamer 8th, Eli Drinkwitz.
I'll give you mine. You know, when we come back
7th.
on the other side, I'll give you my 16.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
We'll match them up with Connor's.
We'll just rattle through them and just see.
All
All right. That sounds good. And then we'll get back into some of the other chatter as far as the college football playoff is concerned. Florida Home AC Friday. Bring some good rock suggestions JJ's way. He's got some. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. And let's rock it out on a Friday.
1010XL.
Duval's just different when the Jags are good. You can feel it in the air. You can sense it all over town.
Home of the Jaguars.
Are you ready to step up to luxury?
Check out the power of our exciting 2025 lineup, including the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Visti.
With over 15 electric Cadillacs in stock and more on the way, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and embrace luxury with a twist.
At Randy Marion, there are no tariffs. Visit Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, and see why our electric lineup turns heads.
Don't miss out. Drive Cadillac, electric or gas. We have both. Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Greg McGarity, President and CEO of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. I'm here to share that the Gator Bowl is actually a year-round organization. We're known for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl football game, which has been a Jacksonville staple for more than 80 years. Off the football field, the Gator Bowl has also hosted the annual Florida State baseball game, a champion of local youth through Gator Bowl charities, and a strong networking organization of local individuals and companies through our membership. We're actually looking to grow membership, which is an affordable, fun way for you to get involved and give back to our community. To learn more, visit GatorBowl.com for more information.
Plumbing problems, AC not blowing, septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Rooter. We handle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning all under one roof. That's one call, one company, and one bill that won't give you a heart attack. For fast, reliable, and slightly ducky service, call 904-862-6769 or waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com. Powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. In today's world of retail, how has a store like Underwood stayed viable against the big national stores?
Frank, that's a question with a direct answer. At Underwoods, we've never aspired to be the biggest. What we've always tried to do is be the best. When you take this approach, there's some things that come to mind immediately, like fine quality merchandise bought by buyers that are experts, high levels of service delivered by a staff that are helpful and know what they're doing. Then there's some things that people don't really think about at all, like the finer a gem, the more rare it is. And these gems are not mass producible because they were made by God millions of years ago. Because of that, there just aren't enough of these for the big multi-store retailers to buy and put into their merchandising schemes. So at Underwood's, we buy these finer, rarer gems and create jewelry pieces that the people in Jacksonville expect out of us.
When you want the best, it's Underwood's. Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all. Garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Things aren't looking good for the Gators baseball team right now as they're currently trailing the East Carolina Pirates 11-2 in the top of the 8th. A pitching nightmare today looks like it'll put the season on ice for the Gators, although it was a roller coaster of a season. With football right around the corner, some kickoff times and TV destinations have been announced. The Gators will kick off their season hosting LIU in the Swamp on August 30th at 7 p.m., airing on SEC Network Plus. On week 2, they'll play USF September 6th in the Swamp on SEC Network. Then week 3, they're at LSU on September 13th at 7 o'clock on ABC. And then at week 8 versus Georgia here in Jacksonville, November 1st for a 3:30 kick on ABC. The season starts in 92 days. It's 91 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Gators is getting hammered right now in the College World Series, or I shouldn't even say that, the NCAA regional.
By the way, did you see?
Forget about it with the College World Series right now.
Metallica about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, Lane
played
Stadium.
live at Lane Stadium.
I
And
heard
the
that.
place went nuts.
I heard it. I heard it was a packed house, but I didn't really hear anything after that. Like they said, that what a cool thing that they did. Because if you don't know, this song is it's
the
already
entrance to every Virginia Tech football game.
It's already legendary, but up in Blacksburg, it has extra special meaning. And one of the coolest things that I remember is when you saw them playing it, and Lee Corso and them were there for College Game Day, and lightning hit Corso's car, and it caught on fire. But anyway, enter Sandman, because that place will register on the Richter scale.
But you know,
as it is.
if you ask Sankey and a lot of other people, it's not really college football. Schools and traditions like that don't even matter. So it's like, why even talk about them?
Yeah, but I love it.
I can't believe that Metallica would go to a non-SEC or Big Ten school.
I am smelling.
And act like they even matter.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and now I am smelling just a little bit from JJ that he's just a little ticked off with Sankey, but Sankey's doing the same thing.
Not just Sankey, the whole, just the college football, man. Just all of it. I hate where it's at, and I hate the talk surrounding non-SEC or Big Ten schools as if they are not as important in college football as others, and I just hate that. I hate that.
I think
I love the sport, and
I
it's
can
being
tell you this.
ruined.
I think what's going to happen.
But for what
What's
it's
going
worth,
to happen?
that's been going on forever too.
It has,
Yeah.
but what's going to happen, JJ, is 2030, 20. So the Big Ten's up in 2030. The SEC's up in 2032. Their media rights, but it's going to be when the Big Ten media deal's up. I think what's going to happen, and it might even be sooner than that, is you're going to see the Power Four. They're going to pool their media rights resources, and then they'll sell it as one. They're going to make a ton of money, much more than they would now. And they'll share it, and they'll all be on the same level.
As long as a team like Virginia Tech is included, I'll be happy.
It's going to take a while,
but that's a Power Four.
Those
so
four will be like how the NFL, how all the 32 teams pool their media rights, and they share them. The Power Four is going to share them eventually, no matter what Sankey or Tony Petitti think. That at some point they cannot say no to more money.
I don't blame.
So that will happen now. That doesn't mean the rest of the college football, like the group of six. Yeah. They're on their own, man.
Well,
they are on their own.
The idea has also been floated that they should try and capture that and take advantage of it because they're being shoved to the curb by the big boys. So create your own model, okay? You've been making money and
not only that,
programs.
Create your own playoff.
That's what I'm saying. Do your own deal. Break away. Make your own story, like Division I,
like FCS
has done forever.
Yes, like FCS.
Yeah,
right.
and so I just know that the way it worked is that you had to. I always without my old line is without losers there are no winners, and so you had to get a bunch of schools that you could schedule to gloss your record up a little bit to where and those schools have been living off of that. They've been getting their program funded by that. But now you can get off with you can go a group of take a look at what Boise State did last year. You can go off of that storyline and use that to start to build your own model and create. It may be second level college football, but whatever. Make the most of it and try and expand it. All right. So
let me just say this real quick because I wanted to look this up real quick and because the constant drone you hear is you're going to lose sports. What about those teams out to the group of six schools? Football is the only thing that matters. The only thing that makes money. They're going to have to start cutting sports. Let me tell you something. Montana State, okay, in the FCS. You know how many team sports they have?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's men. 7 men. 1, 2, 3.
Well, yeah, look
4,
at like
5,
UNF.
6,
They don't even
7,
have a football program.
8 women.
Yep.
15 team sports at Montana State.
Yeah, so whenever you do have with the Title IX, they're all going to be very within one.
Right, but my point is 15.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You're saying that you can.
Yes. What I'm saying is you can
be
still
down
have
to cut off a few of those.
Yes. No. I don't think. I don't think you have to lop them off. I'm saying you've got 50. That's a lot of sports for an FCS program. A lot. Okay. So the idea that you're going to lose scholarships for young people, or you're going to eliminate the idea of training that helps the Olympic sports people grow and get better in their sports and become these great Olympic athletes. It's wrong. It's not true. It's just not true.
Well, I'm just looking right now just to kind of take a look at the sports. And
one of those sports in Montana State, by the way, men's rodeo.
Okay, all right, but right now I'm looking.
I bet they're awesome in that.
Skiing too at Montana State.
They got a leg up in Montana.
A little bit, yeah.
I look at men's sports right now at UNF, and they have 7 men, and they've got double-digit women.
Yeah.
So that's not an odd number,
right? My point is they don't even have a football team,
right? Yeah, neither one of them. So
which is where you're really going to get revenue from.
Yeah.
Montana State has a great football team.
That's where that's their engine, and most of them drive dollars through there to fund the other ones, and that's what Title IX was all about. We've got to give all these sports and student athletes, an opportunity to compete, so on and so forth. We've heard that story 1,000 times, but I love the fact that there are all these other sports where these kids can get scholarships and all that kind of stuff. That part I love, but I don't think that's a crazy number at all.
No, I think it's a good number, actually, is what I was saying. I think it's a really good number.
Yeah, because right now you're looking at it's 7, 8, 9, 10. There are at least 17, 18 sports at UNF. That's pretty dang good.
I don't think all of them are scholarship sports, are they?
No.
Right.
You have.
But see, at Montana State, they're all scholarship sports.
Right, but there's also partial scholarships that are given to a lot of these.
Yeah. And by the way, we had a texter say Title IX, Doesn't have to be the equal number of sports,
No.
just scholarships.
Yeah,
It's opportunity.
Just scholarships.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking it still had to be within 2 total number wise, women versus men.
No, it's not. It's not number sports.
Okay,
It's
scholars.
It's scholars. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's opportunity. They call it.
UNF, they have beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Not for the boys though.
Nope.
I bet they.
Sad.
I bet they kick
'Cause I'd
Montana
kick
State's
ass in
ass in
that.
beach volleyball.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
They got 2 volleyballs on one side versus the other. I'd rather have the rodeo team. All right, so when
You'd rather have rodeo than women's beach volleyball, Joe?
Let me
Hell
tell
no,
you
you
something,
wouldn't.
Joe.
Trust me, I walk past them going to class every day practicing. You would not rather have seen the rodeo.
You get a few of those Middleburg boys on that rodeo team at UNF.
Yeah.
They give Montana State everything they want, man.
I'll
tell you that right now.
I was speaking of volleyball. Okay, just so.
Oh, okay. I was sticking up for my UNF beach volleyball team, who I
would say,
always have loved.
like both beach or
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
I'm good with either one, Joe.
All right, so give me your 16 as far as your coaches are concerned in the SEC after we had Connor O'Gara's list that we were coming up from Saturday down
You want me to go
south.
16 to 1 or 1 to 16?
16 to 1.
16. All right, Jeff
Yeah.
Levy's at 16.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him because he's in a bad situation.
He's
it's a tough job.
He's a 1-year head coach at a bad spot. He's 16.
It's a tough job because he's following a guy who had to follow the death of a coach. And he's following a guy that tried to completely change the system. Now he's trying to completely change it back to where Leach had it because that's the kind of system he runs. It's difficult. I mean, we'll see what happens. He thinks he's got a quarterback. We'll see what happens. I got our buddy Sam Pittman at 15. I hate to do it, but that's kind of where we are right now.
Right.
It's a difficult spot to be in. I wanted to put him ahead of Hugh Freeze, but I got a feeling Auburn's going to have a breakout year this year.
So
I got a
that's
feeling
the
this is going to be
okay. So
this
you're
is going to be the breakout year for
You're
Plus-
giving him
plus,
love in
I mean,
advance.
No, plus also Hugh did a pretty damn good job at Ole Miss when he was head coach there.
Yeah, very
before he started, meeting up with certain people. And
Well, he had resources,
right,
and he used them wisely.
Well, I don't know about using them wisely.
Well, it worked at the time.
He got him on probation. I don't know about using them wisely.
Who's Auburn's quarterback this year?
Not only did he get him in. Not only did he get him in.
They don't know.
No, they do. Not only did he get him in trouble in the NCAA, he got himself in trouble because he wasn't using the resources wisely.
But all I know is that he beat that butt on the football field.
Jackson Arnold's their quarterback this year, the former
from
Oklahoma
Oklahoma.
quarterback.
And he got some seriously good players to go play at Ole Miss. Okay.
He did. He
My
did.
gosh, he had some good
He
players.
did. And that Florida team with Will Greer just smacked that. Smacked them. Remember that game? 35-10, I think it was?
Yeah.
In Gainesville? I think Ole Miss was 3 in the nation that year, too.
That high.
What could have been had Will Greer had
he
McElwain
stayed.
just said, "Yeah, I want you to be my quarterback," instead of saying, "No."
Yeah, Sharknado. Thank
no.
you. Thank you. All right, keep going.
All right. 13 is Clark Lee, and I think he should be higher. I actually think he should be higher.
This is your own list.
I know it is. And
Well,
I'm
then what
looking
the
at
heck?
it. And I'm looking at it, and I think he should be higher. I do. I think he should be ahead of both. In fact, I'm going to move him. I'm going to say 13 Napier. Okay.
And you're going to put Clark Lee ahead of him.
Oh, I'm not only that. I'm going to say 12 Stoops, and then I'm going to throw Clark Lee in there.
Well, Clark Lee falls under the classic
Because
heading.
I would love to see Napier and
Yeah.
Stoops coach at Vanderbilt and
Yeah.
see what they do at Vanderbilt.
Right, exactly. It's fair to say
Doing
he
more
does
with less.
He does more with less. There's no doubt. I love what Connor
And
pointed out.
Stoops
is
was
that-
the king of more with
Yeah.
less. Was.
Yeah, but the fact that
But it's gotten ugly.
Clark Lee beat Mark Stoops 2 seasons ago.
You beat Billy Napier, too.
Yeah.
When Anthony Richardson was thrown in the stands in the last play of the game.
Well, that was Florida State too. But Mark Stoops. Oh, how did it go? Mark Stoops.
Remember that? Odom just looked at the ball going over his head against Florida State.
Mark Stoops beats Florida and then turns around and loses to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Yes.
can't do that.
Yes, you cannot do that. All right, so that's 15, 12, 11, 10. So my 10 is Beamer. And I don't like Beamer at 10, but I'm sticking him there, okay?
He's a top 10 coach in a 16-team league. That's still not. You're not glossing
Yeah,
on him
yeah.
too much.
Yeah, I just think South Carolina, when the expectations are there, and they are there this year, big time. He's got a legit quarterback who I hate to even throw this on some kid, but Lenore Sellers looks a lot like Cam Newton. He's got that ability to carry a team.
Yeah, we were talking about electrifying the other day, yesterday, day before. he falls on that
that
gosh. List as far as electrifying in college for sure.
I'll tell you what, if he was the Alabama quarterback, holy cow, they'd be far and away the best team in the country.
Yeah, they'd be loving on him.
Oh my God!
So you think he'll be better than Milroe was?
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
I
they
think
seem very similar to me. Like super athletic, very raw, not a great passer.
Lenore Sellers is a way better thrower than Jalen Milroe.
And Milroe was shot out of a cannon to begin last year and then faded poorly.
I think Lenore, that was his first year as a starter last year, JJ.
Yeah.
He was a redshirt
I know.
freshman.
I loved watching him play. I just I get Milroe
I think he's going to be terrific. I think he's going to be terrific despite the fact that Mike Shula is his coach. I think he's going to be really, really good.
I also thought Milroe was awesome.
It was a shot.
I loved watching Milroe play.
Yeah, I liked watching him too. I just felt like his down the field passing was
couldn't
so
make
good
first
early.
and second level throws. It was all third.
Right.
All he could do was throw deep, which I guess is good. But I mean, you got to hit some of those easy throws. All right, my 9 is Venables, and I think everybody forgets about the 10 wins his first season.
We don't care. It's way, way, way too high.
I know it's recency bias, and that's part of this. I agree, that's part of this poll. There's no doubt about it. But he's got what they did this offseason. My gosh, they had a better offseason than anyone, and it wasn't just John Mateer who's going to be a terrific player for them. They upgraded everywhere. Now those guys have got to mesh and have that chemistry.
You still got to call ball plays.
Yeah, and Florida State's a perfect example. It didn't happen last year. The year before it did. So if it happens for you, I mean, Oklahoma could be a playoff team if they mesh and they have that chemistry. Mateer's that good.
They definitely.
The other guys they added are that good that they could be a playoff team.
Yeah.
And then Venables is no longer 9. Then he's up in the probably top 5 at that point. All right, number 8 is Elko. I think he's a great,
I like him a lot.
Great football coach. The fact that he was complaining about his long snapper was hilarious. Hilarious.
I like him a lot.
Media, he's complaining about that. He's complaining about a scholarship limit of 105.
Yeah, they've got so much stinking oil money.
Thinking about that.
Yeah.
105 players on your team, and he's complaining about it. The quote was, "What if I lose 2 long snappers? Where am I going to get a third one from?"
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, we feel for you.
I don't know, Mike. How about one of the 15 offensive linemen you have on your team?
Yeah.
One of those guys should be able to snap the ball.
Bend over and do your job.
Golly, man. All right, and I got Heupel at 8. I think Heupel's done a great job at Tennessee.
I'd have him higher than that.
This is going to be a very important season for him there. They've got obviously new quarterback, but their offensive line is going to be completely rebuilt.
There's some hotty-toddy bias right now.
They've got completely rebuilt receivers, completely rebuilt running back room. Offensively, and even defensively, they've lost a few too. So it's going to be a big year for him. I got Eli Drinkwitz at 7. And it's not just because FOTP. He's done a great job there, man. He has done a great job.
Let me just at least jump in there because one of the son-in-laws moving up in the power rankings because I'm being invited to the CMA Fest. The other one, he's just stuck, okay? He's with Rocky Top. But Josh Heupel is 20-1 in his building.
I know that.
Okay, you got to recognize that a little bit more and put him. You barely put him ahead of a couple of the other guys. Like barely put him ahead of Brett Venables.
Right? So?
A hell of a lot better coach. I think.
Look.
All right.
He's in a much better place than Eli Drinkwitz. You cannot compare those two.
I said Venables.
Right, but he's ahead of Venables. So, I mean, you can't.
Okay, all right.
I mean, Eli's won 21 games in the last 2 years.
Just barely moved him ahead. You're right. Drinkwitz has done great.
In the quote-unquote best conference in college football. He's won 21 games.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he beat Ohio State in a bowl game, too.
Yeah. Was living off of that for a while, which was great.
Only ranked win for their 10 wins last year was against number 24 Boston College.
Yeah, that's not
to start the year.
That's true. They got their ass kicked by A&M, by South Carolina, and by Alabama.
My point is they didn't really, you could say that they've been the big bad SEC, but they had the easiest freaking schedule last year.
And they have the same schedule this year.
Okay.
And they might win 10 again this year with Bo Prabula as their quarterback, the Penn State transfer. All right. And then I got number 6, Kalen DeBoer.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
for all the reasons I said earlier. I mean, those were 3 bad losses last year.
Yeah, for sure.
And the one that really got me, it wasn't the Vanderbilt one. It was the Michigan one. It was the Michigan one where you've got a few weeks to prepare. You're playing a team that cannot throw the ball, and you just got
and didn't have an answer.
Whipped.
Yeah.
Yes, got whipped. All right. So he's 6. No, he's 5. What did I say? He's 5. My 4 is Brian Kelly. My 3 is Lane Kiffin. My 2 is Sark. And my 1, of course, is
that's pretty dang close to where
player.
Connor has it. And Brian Kelly is stuck there, but he's got to prove he can move up.
By the way, he said 2 days
Sark
ago
has passed him.
He's got his best team.
Yeah, we'll find out. Sark has passed him. There's no doubt right now.
No doubt.
Because he was regarded
back-to-back semifinals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, it's XL Primetime. You can react to that 641-1010. It is XL Primetime on a Florida Home AC Friday.
Every tackle, basket, and crack of the bat. Your radio home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Frank Frangie here. May is Military Appreciation Month, and Nimnik Buick GMC proudly salutes the brave men and women who serve and have served our country. As a thank you, we're offering an additional $500 off select new Buick and GMCs, and every vehicle purchased at Nimnik supports K9s for Warriors. Nimnik thanks you for your service and your sacrifice. Shop 24/7 online at NimnikBuickGMC.com. Value your trade and customize your payment options in seconds. Visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
What NFL stadium has been used the longest by an NFL team?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Green Bay's Lambeau Field has been used by the Packers since 1957, a span of over 60 years.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
Work on three, work on three, 1, 2, 3, work! Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Hey, Hicken here. So much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. That's where Zero Res comes in. I love Zero Res, and this month get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet and air duct cleaner with May Mayhem. A 3-room special starting at $149 plus the 4th room is free. You owe it to yourself and your family to breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Call Zero Res 28757 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the Hicken special. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline, and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Talk a little college ball on a Friday afternoon. Florida Home AC Friday right here on XL Primetime. Joe C. Matty Hayes. You can check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. JJ cranking some good rock and roll. You guys can still hit him up, 641-1010. With some rock and roll suggestions. Put you in a good mood, heading into the weekend.
Yeah, especially that song. Great song.
Everyone's got either kind of old school rock or new rock. We like it all. We used to call it a Big Hair Heavy Metal Friday, but we expanded, of course, as you know.
Now, what is Foreigner's not hair metal? That would just be like 80s rock. Yeah.
Yeah, but and just right there, the title in and of itself, okay? That's a smash hit.
By the way, High Tie's not happy with my Kalen DeVore at number 5.
He's a dirty white boy.
He is a dirty white boy, man. He said, from the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, Matt, DeVore at 5th, you don't really believe that. You'd really take Kelly Kiffin and Sark to run your program over him? Yes, I would right now, yes. And then he said, did you get into my stash? Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, that's the classic one. Yeah, the slow, if he ever finds your stash, who knows what he'll say. That's for sure.
And then a guy right above him, the 888 says DeBoer's too high, more like 12.
All right. Now, honestly, there's mixed opinions. What I said to Connor O'Gara earlier, it's crazy. Here's a guy that had a crap of a season by most people's accounts because he followed the GOAT and Nick Saban, yet he picked off Kirby in Georgia, which is just insane. Hit me, JJ.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Back to college football in 1 minute, but college baseball just ended. The Gators have lost. They did have a little bit of a comeback, but they lost to ECU in the first game of the regional 11-6.
11-6. They're going to have to put some fight back in that lineup.
Got to get through that loser's bracket now, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, you can't be 2-Q. You can't.
Well, they're going to have to win a couple just to see if they honestly. It's been a good story, really, for Kevin O'Sullivan and what they've been able to do this year. The fact they were able to come back from where they started, so on and so forth. But you get touched up. I was listening to Jeff Cardozo, who's the play-by-play on 10-10 when the game was getting out of hand early. And when they chased the first pitcher, they're like, at least he can save his arm. He might be able to come back in a couple of days because that's how bad it was. Kevin O'Sullivan had to get up out of the dugout in the second inning and go to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah.
And FSU up already in the second inning, 1-0 against Bethune.
Okay. So 1-0. Theirs just got going at 3:00. And if you see any other scores, throw them out as JJ.
North Carolina final 4-0 against Holy Cross. Looks like Miami, Alabama got delayed a little bit to 3:45. Texas early lead against Houston Christian 2-1 in the fourth. Louisville early lead in the fourth against East Tennessee State. Cincinnati beating Wake Forest 10-5. That's a little surprise for me. That one's in the sixth.
Yeah, okay. Because there were, I think, a total of 9 from the ACC that got into these baseball regionals. All right, so Brian Kelly was 4th on your list, 4th on Connor's list. Kalen DeBoer was 3rd on his list, and he did defend it, as we talked about earlier. The record against ranked foes, what he was able to do, obviously getting into a national championship game. So there's enough on his resume that you could easily justify where you're putting him.
Yeah.
And then you go from there, okay, what are you going to do in this setting, in this environment, in Tuscaloosa? Are you going to be able to answer the bell after what some would say, hey, that was your mulligan of a season following Nick? Okay? Honestly.
You don't get mulligans in Alabama.
Yeah, but no, that's it. The only reason it was is because you followed Nick. And it was a mulligan, and they didn't make it in the college football playoff, and we already have discussed the teams that they lost to. Steve Sarkisian, meanwhile, has built a behemoth in Austin with his recruiting and some of the transfer portal and recruiting rankings. But he also, even though he's gotten to these big-time games, now they're going to be assuming that next step needs to come.
Yeah. I mean, they got to go to Georgia September 27. That's, I mean, Kirby has that Alabama funk. There's no doubt about it. He's beaten them once, right? Once in the national championship game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kirby's got to win that game, man. That's at home. You can't lose that game. You cannot lose that game against an Alabama team that really doesn't know who the quarterback is. I mean, obviously Ty Simpson's the quarterback, or at least the projected starter. I know that's basically what, I mean, he said he's his quarterback, is what Kellen DeBoer said about a week and a half ago. My guess is when camp starts, if something happens, if Mac makes a move or if the freshman makes a move, you might see something different. But right now, that's his safest spot right now as far as to win games. I'm not sure Ty Simpson's a guy that's going to go in Georgia and win a game. I got news for you. I'm not sure Ty Simpson's a guy that's going to go into Tallahassee and win a game either.
Well, he's there because he's basically playing the part of survivor. He's outlasted the rest of them. He's still there.
If
other
Castellano
ones have gone,
plays,
he's still there.
If Castellano plays for Florida State like he played for BC against Florida State,
yeah, he had a hell of a game.
Alabama's got some problems in that game, man. I'm telling you, they do.
Well, he's elusive, mobile, definitely can move
Plus,
around.
it'll be the
find open guys.
It'll
make
be
plays.
the new stadium opened up. It'll be Corso's last game. I mean, that place will be on fire there.
And it's a new old offense. It's not like people haven't seen what Gus Malzahn likes to run, but it's new in Tallahassee. And who knows how he and Norvell will kind of mesh their philosophies. But anyway, it's supposed to be Gus's deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that could be interesting.
Plus, you got a program that's hurt now for the last, I don't know how many months that they suck, that they're not any good. They, you know, the outlier was 2 years ago when they were 12. They're hearing all that, man. Those guys got a little oomph. They do.
Yeah.
He's got talent on that roster.
Yeah, he does. But he was so void of it last year in terms of the players that they said goodbye to. There were a lot of good ones that they said goodbye to, and then
there were a lot of underachievers too.
They didn't react well.
Like Marvin
to that.
Jones Jr., underachiever.
Yeah, did not
go
react
down
well
the
at all.
road. The kid from Florida, the offensive lineman,
Peyton and some of the other ones. Yeah,
underachiever. Yeah, you go down the line there, man.
And when we talk about that, let's just I'm going to segue real quick because that team was unbeaten at one point, we know, and didn't get into the college football playoff. And teams in this state are still trying to win some titles. This still blows my mind. Let's do a little 10-10 take with this one, JJ.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
You can always count on delicious barbecue whenever you head in there for lunch or for dinner. If you're planning a big party, make sure you get with them. Sonny's all over the First Coast. It blew my mind when I was reading this that we're talking about when's the last time Florida's won a title. Florida State, Miami. Forget about the national championship title. Just go ahead and maybe win an ACC. Anyway, they haven't done a whole hell of a lot in a while. Then let's take a look at the Jaguars, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, the Florida Panthers are back going for the Stanley Cup.
Dude, they're so much better than anybody else in that league right now.
It blew my mind. So how about this? Florida, the state of Florida, has a chance to win back-to-back cups, meaning the Panthers could repeat as Stanley Cup champions, and the state's 4th cup in 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, we are
right.
not a football state, ladies
right.
and gentlemen. We are
We're
a
a
hockey state. Okay, it's just
Have you watched the Panthers? This year?
Real, yeah.
They're so much better, man.
I don't know if I took a picture of this, but they have scored on the road 5 goals or more multiple times, like record-setting type of stuff.
They're
on their
so
way to
fast. Bob is on fire in the crease, on fire, and they defend and they cross-check better than anyone.
Yeah,
anyone.
It blew my mind, and they have built. And by the way, this is after Tampa Bay did what they did, and they have built something very special. Now
It's a very similar plan, what it is, because that's what the Lightning were when they had their 2 championship run.
Yeah.
Very similar type team, very fast, very active in both ends of the rink.
So guys are trying to obviously come back and see if they can do it again with the Panthers, but they have put together quite a product down there, that's for sure. All right, so we'll finish our show up with a little bit more in the college football world. We mentioned the schedule. Inside the SEC, there's some big ball games. When they announced these television times over the last couple of days, it was formalized yesterday. But there's also some really good ones outside of the SEC that we will hit coming up here in just a sec. Before we are done, it is XL Primetime.
First Coast living. Always. Jags love it.
Let's go, Jags!
This is the Duval life.
We're Duval do or die, baby.
1010 XL.
Just when you thought we couldn't bring you more, Keon Atlantic is here with a brand new store. We have the same great team to treat you well, with new savings during our grand opening sale. Keon Atlantic is here with the new store. Shop our best offers and largest selection yet. Save big during our grand opening sale. Is there something for everyone on our lot? You bet. If you're ready to experience something new, the all-new Keon Atlantic is ready for you. Your perfect ride is a visit away. Online at KeonAtlantic.com. Keon Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 30th, 1927, Walter Johnson reports his 110th and final shutout of his Baseball Hall of Fame career, the most in MLB history.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company.
with a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and lagers. Matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today. 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
At IHRS, we're passionate about solving your hair loss. We're clients too. With the latest hair transplant technology, FDA-approved laser hair therapy, and PRP, we guarantee solutions for both men and women. Call now for a free consultation and receive $250 off. Hair restoration is for me, and it can be for you too. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaway is just the beginning. When we come back on Monday, we're going to be in June. We are talking college ball now. Okay?
I do think, just stay right there, because is this not true, JJ, that school is out? That
I don't know if it is.
Okay, I believe it is for some, but that's worth a round of applause, because Matt just said we're going into June next week.
Play that song too, JJ, because JJ was kind of like a little blown away by the fact, when you and I were growing up, we had school into June. I think even the second week of June, and then we went back after Labor Day, always after Labor Day.
And it's funny because you see a lot of vacationers.
Because it was like the summer flings, right?
Yeah.
It always ends on Labor Day.
Now they end in May. They go back second week of August.
Yeah, I would never do that, man.
Second week of
What
August.
is that?
Yeah, it's nuts. But so their summer break, honestly, is only like 2.5 months. With the son along with Annie. By the way, our beautiful daughter Annie celebrating her birthday.
Happy birthday. Another round of applause.
Exactly. So happy birthday, Annie Boo. That's right. Love
Second week of August. What is that?
Yeah, and they'll go back. I think even teachers will probably go back
summer.
the first week of
School's
August.
out for summer.
Listen, we went back.
Alice Cooper said it. We all believe it.
Yeah,
I feel like in Ocala we went back that early in August, but we were done by now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't ever remember going into June.
Yeah.
School.
So late May. A lot of them, like the top of the high schools, are out like second week of May.
Okay,
they're
May.
Done. Yeah, they're done.
We were doing our field days in June, man.
And of course you had to walk.
Remember the field day?
Uphill,
uphill both ways with no shoes on.
No, you remember field day, right?
I remember snow. Is what I remember.
Walking uphill.
Yeah. All right. Listen. Speaking of what in the world happened? How the hell are they putting Farmageddon in Ireland? Okay, I just don't get this.
Right. So that was part of my takeaway too. Here we go. Here we go. Wait do you hear these week 0 games?
Iowa State and Kansas State, which is the classic, one of the greatest names ever, Farmageddon. There's going to be a lot of stuff that is going to be lit up.
That's a great game.
And it'll be in Ireland.
The first
this
game
year.
of the season.
Yeah.
The first game of the season, August 23.
Yeah, so you'll be able, Irish eyes are smiling as you watch it.
Never forget last year, Florida State, Georgia Tech.
Also a great
in
game.
Ireland to kick things
That
off.
ended up
and
being a great game.
We expected Florida State to have like 9 or 10 wins, and wow.
By the way, Blue was not happy.
No.
After
no.
that one.
So
that began the fall of discontent for one Rick Blue.
And it was like at noon on a Saturday, and that was the only game. So like you just had to live in that.
It was straight
the
pain.
rest of the weekend.
You had nothing else you could do about it, man.
Straight pain.
It was great for me.
So that's week 0. Week 1, you got Boise State at South Florida,
which is a great game.
Yeah, you got Nebraska and Cincinnati at Arrowhead Stadium, and then the first full slate of Saturday ball, which is the ones that we were talking about.
Right.
That big noon game, because there was some chatter that Ohio State was willing, or Fox wanted Ohio State to move that game.
Mm-hmm.
They were willing to do it to a night setting, and Texas did not want it.
Wait, hang on a second. Don't skip 2 games that Friday.
Yeah.
You're jumping all the way to Saturday.
Okay.
You're skipping 2 really good games. Auburn at Baylor.
That's a good one.
Auburn loses that game. Oh my gosh. That's going to be very hard for Hugh Freeze right out of the gate. And then Georgia Tech, who I love, Brent Key's fantastic.
Is Haynes King still there?
Yes. Georgia Tech plays at Colorado.
Yeah,
Love
that's a good
that.
one. That's an 8 o'clock kick.
Love that.
Yes.
And so Deion will be wearing sunglasses at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
He will.
But that's a good one too. So and Auburn and Baylor will be great. I agree with you.
Auburn and Baylor is going to be just phenomenal.
But then how about Fran Brown? What if he can deliver a strike against Tennessee? That's in Atlanta. Fran Brown's done a great job.
I actually think they're going to have a huge letdown year.
Yeah, you think so?
Without the quarterback, and they lost Payne. The offense. There's no way they can be as good as they were last year.
There was a lot that they did say goodbye to, including our man in the teal and black, in LaQuint Allen. Mississippi State at Southern Miss. That's another noon kickoff that day. Georgia hosting.
You guys
Marshall.
are selling Ricky Collins short, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who that
Brian
is.
Kelly's first quarterback recruit at LSU.
Okay.
Transferred to Syracuse.
And he is now, okay.
Not only that, you're selling Fran Brown. Were you not there when we were talking to Fran Brown
I just said he did a great job.
Spring meetings?
Listen, Fran Brown said the S word on my show, and I missed it, and I didn't dump it, and I got in trouble for that.
You
So,
did, but don't
me
blame
and Fran Brown
Brown.
are not cool.
Don't blame him for your faults, man.
But I started out by saying Syracuse may be able to shock Tennessee. Did you not hear me?
You did.
Yeah, because I do think that Tennessee does not have
Yeah, it's not only just Joey Aguilar. It's
question
like
that's
I said
answered.
earlier, their entire offense is rebuilt, man.
I think they could.
That's a difficult game for them to start out. That's all.
And let's not forget Heupel, as we said, 20-1 at home his first 3 seasons, which is a hell of a run.
Yeah.
But anyway, that game's in
Should be
Atlanta.
19-2, but the guy in Gainesville kind of literally gave him the game.
Yeah, he did. They easily could. Yeah, we all know what happened there. All right. We got plenty of time to talk about this. I just got to get to the ukulele, please, if you don't mind, because we're about to wrap up our week, and we haven't talked.
This is for Leon, by the way.
Yeah.
This has got a little Leon vibe right now.
Thank you. Leon's enjoying his toes in the sand down in Jamaica, so the ukulele will play for him as well. But it is from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Oh, with a delicious Mexican cereza. Enjoy one. Over the weekend, whatever you're doing, just pick up some Pacifico convenience stores or in your local grocer cooler section. So the association half of the NBA Finals are decided. The other half, Jalen Brunson, he had himself a game last night.
I told you it wasn't over.
I know, and I still think it's over, but I get exactly what you're saying. Here's how bad it was, JJ. I almost took Indiana.
Smart that you didn't.
Plus four.
Some of the best bets you ever make are the ones you don't make.
Exactly. I was a winner last night.
Exactly.
I almost took them plus 4.5, thinking, "Oh, I love that number." And no, sir. They got drilled, and the yes sirs were no sirs last night. That's for sure. All right. So we don't know what's going to happen on the East, but we do know that the Oklahoma City Thunder is sitting there waiting. Do you realize they won 17 more games than New York, 18 more than Indiana, and they're just sitting over there.
Right.
All right. They are the first team to reach the NBA Finals without a player of at least 10 years of experience on their team.
Wow.
Since who?
Oh my gosh.
They're right now the second youngest team. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you this one right now because we can't have too many perfectos with
I'm gonna
these
say the
numbers.
Mavs. I'm gonna say the
With
Mavs.
Dirk?
The Mavs?
No, the reached the finals.
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Not
But
bad.
the other half of this, real quick.
Kyrie, though.
Yeah, that's a good one. The other half of this is that they're the second youngest by average age in the last 50 years. You got to go all the way back to Portland in the mid 70s.
Wow.
Sam Presti has done an excellent job.
Yeah, he really has. He. You know what I hope? I hope
say the
James.
least.
I hope James Gladstone's is just like him.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, but the first team to reach the NBA Finals without a player of 10 seasons of experience or more since who? Since what team?
That's what I said. The Mavs.
You go the Mavs, JJ.
This is probably wrong. I'm thinking of how old Ben Wallace was at the time. I'm gonna say those early 2000s Pistons teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not
probably
bad.
wrong about that.
This one is such a it's just a crazy question. So I didn't expect you guys to nail it because I wouldn't have gotten it either. The New Jersey Nets in 2002.
Wow.
And the only guy
Vince
that was
Carter?
Was
on
Drazen
there,
on that team?
it was Kerry Kittles was the guy that had that 10 years of
Was
experience.
Drazen on that team? Or he already passed away?
I'd have to go back. And
Oh
look.
yeah, that was after that.
That was after
that
that?
was
Okay.
Jason Kidd and Richard Hamilton.
Drazen was like 98 when he died, right? It was 98 or 97?
I don't know. But anyway,
What a player he was, man.
the Nets, the only team that has done it really, basically, you'd have to call that the 21st century. So, yeah, OKC, their average age right now is below 25 years. I want to say it's like 24.6, something in that neighborhood.
Wow. 93, Drazen died.
Yeah, so that's,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. This team. Remember Keith Van Horn with the pulled up white socks? Loved him.
Yes.
Kenyon
Yes.
Martin was
The
a rookie
Utes.
that year from Cincinnati.
And he didn't even play the whole year, right? He was still
I think
dealing
he
with
got
the leg
hurt.
injury.
Yeah.
he had
In
the
the
injury
tournament,
before.
right?
Yeah. Right before the
Jason Kidd,
tournament.
of course, was 7 years into the league at that point. Richard Jefferson was a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Wow,
That
was
the
before
East
he went
has
to-
sucked for a long time,
Yeah.
guys. A long time.
Well, that also highlights what we were just saying a minute ago.
They got killed by the Lakers that year.
Yeah, OKC has won 17 and a half more games on average than the two teams that are in
Have
the
you
Eastern
seen the
Conference.
odds for them right now to
Oh.
win the
Was
whole
it
thing?
minus?
Minus 700.
Oh,
plus.
wow. I thought it was minus.
Really?
Yeah.
Minus 700. All right. I wish I'd laid money on that one instead of, because maybe that is a guarantee, but you'd have to wager 700 to get to one. Only guy that would make a stupid bet like that would be.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
Coolest cats in town.
Are you kidding me? There's no way the embedded and shredder would fall for something like that.
I like the Knicks to sweep them. Give me the odds on that.
Did you like the Gators before today? You would have bet on that one, probably.
I feel bad.
I would have.
I will say this. It does feel like the fandom for college baseball has really grown over the last 3 or 4 years. I think because there's just so much more access to it on television with streaming services.
Right.
And that's really cool. I am not part of that bandwagon, though. Like, college baseball does, like, really nothing for me at all as a fan. Nothing. I mean, if they're, like, in Omaha and they're 3 outs away from the title, I might, at that point, tune in.
Because your co-host today, I'm a
he
fan
lives
of
and dies
college
with
baseball.
it, so I'm sure he's livid. And I'm sure he'll have a great rant coming Monday when he is back from vacation.
Yeah. He will.
But yeah, I mean, it was obviously a putrid effort. I mean, from the start, they were sloppy right out of the gate, and then obviously their ace just gets shelled and.
You don't do everything you can to get there and then don't do anything when you get there.
Yeah, it's one thing to lose. I mean, that's baseball, but to get just humiliated to the 3 seed East Carolina, I mean, credit to them. But, the Gators are obviously in dire straits now, 1 loss away from their season being over. And they're going to have to – how many do you have to win now to get – it's like 4 in a row to get to the Super Regional?
Right,
It's something like that.
Because
you
really
you'll have to win 4 games,
Yeah, I think it's 4 games in a row. So not to say they can't do it. They were 1-11 in SEC play and somehow made the tournament. But obviously they've made it very difficult on themselves today. So
that is the college baseball portion of the.
That is right. We probably won't get to that a whole lot coming up, other than just to mention it. But yeah, it'll be a fun Frangie show. Obviously, Frank isn't here; he'll be back on Monday. So it'll just be JJ and I. Hacker, we certainly appreciate sitting in with us, but he has started his vacation. So we will. But we got lots to get to. Mark Long's going to join us at 4:20. from the Associated Press to talk Jags, Gators, football, and basketball. Pete Prisco will join us at 5 o'clock to talk all things Jags and NFL. And we're going to get into some other things, too. We're going to talk about the hunt. We're going to talk about the pursuit for the Jaguars of having 2 1,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard running back. Like, the difficulty of that, projecting that, so that could be fun. And then I'm going to absolutely just shred the Live Tour for a Hammer Time in the 5 o'clock hour. Just, to me, it's, if I'm the PGA Tour, the merge is dead. I am not interested in any kind of merge. And so I would take Bryson DeChambeau back, and that's it.
Yeah.
The rest of them can go earn their cards. Yeah. So anyway, that'll be coming up. But yeah, so hopefully it'll be a fun Frangie show as we get closer to the weekend.
That's the hammer right there. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, buddy. All right, so that's coming up as we say goodbye, ship off for the weekend. Hopefully everybody has a good one heading in. Just enjoy yourself, okay? That's it.
Didn't you say go harder this weekend?
I did not. I said I wanted to know if they were going to try and pack 3 days into 2 days.
Okay, so I misquoted you, is what you're saying.
Don't go any harder, but do put in your time, please. Enjoy. All right, we're done. Florida Home AC, we say thanks to them. FloridaHomeAC.com. Check out all the specials they got, especially if you are running hot right now inside. You don't want to do that. Make sure you get with them. We're done. Joe C., Matty Hayes, JJ, we say goodbye to y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us.
This is 1010XL.
The place is amazing.